Hi, my name is Jazlyn Grace Ebel and I am 14 years old. I enjoy reading and learning about the past, so when I was reading through the book Have You Considered and came across the article of January 31st, I became very intrigued. The first paragraph of the article says, "When did the concept of millions of years of Earth history first creep into academic thought? For thousands of years of human history in almost every culture around the world, it was universally acknowledged that humanity was a relatively recent creation of God. Modern textbooks imply that it was during the rise of science in the 1700s that geologists discovered that rock layers were millions of years old. In reality, this revolutionist history has turned the truth completely upside down. The rejection of God's word came first, resulting in the misinterpretation of Earth's rock layers. Then the article discusses how Columbus found the Native Americans and how the leaders of the church did not know how the Native Americans fit in the Bible story of the worldwide flood. And the remaining people, which were Noah's sons, Shem, the father of Asians, Ham, the father of Africans, and Japheth, the father of Europeans. The presence of this new ethnicity and their different physical characteristics made the leaders think that the Native Americans could not be descendants of Noah. So they made the faulty conclusion that there could not have been a worldwide flood. In the second paragraph, it says, "What they did not understand is that the genetic composition of people is coded into their DNA and varied widely from Noah's sons." This wrong idea, eventually called evolution, took over about 100 years for people to believe that sometimes thousands of feet deep of sedimentary rocks and fossils were formed over millions of years. And because of that, evolution is being spread through schools, museums, and media systems. Also, in the fifth paragraph of the article, it says, "Slow changes over enormous periods of time became the only accepted viewpoint in the 1700s to explain all of geology of our planet, which is geological evolution. Leading directly to the belief in the slow changes over enormous periods of time to explain all of biology, which is biological evolution, in the 1800s. Leading directly to slow changes over enormous periods of time to explain all of matter and energy in the universe, which is cosmic evolution, in the 1900s. It amazes me that people who read the Bible and were expected to know it very well could dismiss it so easily. Even though the Bible talks about the flood and its huge impact on the rest of the Bible, even hundreds of years later during Jesus' time, they were able to reject it as being true instead of trusting God and sticking to what His Word says. I think it is important for us to know about the European church leaders from the 1400s, Columbus, and the Native American story so we know what not to do." Psalm 60 verse 2 says, "You have made the earth tremble. You have broken it. Heal its breaches, for it is shaking." To me, this verse says that the earth is breaking away from what it originally was when there was no sin. And we need to preserve it and help everyone around us know the truth. I think this verse is telling us that even telling one person at a time about God's Word and truth can have a huge impact on the world around us. Another great way to get the word out is through the book Have You Considered? I would have never known that one of the reasons that people had started dismissing God's Word was because of a wrong interpretation of the presence of an ethnicity. So thank you for giving me this great book and the opportunity to present what I think about it to you. And remember, a great quote from the article is, "An ever-increasing proportion of people are now rejecting the very existence of God Himself. Ideas have consequences. Ideas not based on God's Word have dire consequences."